Welcome back to The Voice finale, the night where all the hard work, dedication, and raw talent came together for one final showdown. As the stage lit up and the audience held their breath, little did they know that this night would be more than just about who won. It would be about something much deeper. It was about emotion, mentorship, and a surprising moment of vulnerability that left everyone speechless. The coach who has become an icon of cool, a man known for his laid-back personality and gangster persona, Snoop Dogg, was about to reveal a side of himself that few had ever seen before. As the final performances unfolded, something changed in the air. The contestants weren't the only ones who were feeling the pressure. Snoop, who had spent weeks guiding his team with wisdom and humor, suddenly found himself overwhelmed with emotion. There was something about this moment, something about seeing his team step up on that stage, that touched him in a way he didn't expect. And in the midst of this emotional whirlwind, Reba McEntire, fellow coach, country music legend, and longtime friend, was there to console him. What followed was not just a simple moment of comfort. It was a profound exchange of support and understanding, a powerful reminder of the depth of human connection. To understand why Snoop Dogg became so emotional during the finale, we need to look back at the entire journey. When the season began, Snoop Dogg was an unlikely coach to many. Known for his cool and unbothered persona, it was hard for anyone to imagine the rapper at the helm of a team of aspiring vocalists. But as the weeks went on, Snoop quickly proved that he was more than just a celebrity coach. He was a true mentor, offering wisdom not only from his decades-long career in the music industry, but also from the life experiences that had shaped him. Behind every performance, every coaching session, there was a hidden layer of care that Snoop brought to the table. His connection with his team grew stronger with each passing week. His advice wasn't just about vocal technique, it was about life. He wasn't afraid to share his own struggles, his personal journey of overcoming adversity. Whether it was about trusting the process, embracing imperfections, or simply never giving up, Snoop's words resonated deeply with his contestants. When I first joined The Voice, I thought I'd just be helping with the music side of things. But the truth is, these contestants need more than just vocal tips. They need someone to show them that it's okay to be themselves. That's what I've been doing every week, and it's been the most rewarding part of this whole experience. Over the course of the competition, the relationship between Snoop and his team became something special. They trusted him, not just as a coach, but as someone who genuinely cared for their growth. And when it came time for the finale, that bond had only deepened. The final night was filled with hope, excitement, and anticipation, but also an unspoken sense of finality. This was it. This was the culmination of weeks of work, and Snoop knew that it was about to end. As the final performances of the evening unfolded, Snoop could feel the weight of everything he had invested in this season pressing down on him. His contestants took the stage, one by one, each delivering powerful performances that showcased not only their vocal abilities, but also the personal growth they had undergone throughout the season. But it wasn't just about the talent on display. It was the realization that this journey was coming to an end. As his final contestant took the stage, Snoop was overcome with a wave of emotion. Here he was, standing in the shadows of the stage, watching his contestant give it their all. But as the music played, Snoop's mind wasn't on the performance. It was on the memories of how far his team had come. These were people he had seen transform, grow, and rise to challenges they never thought they could conquer. And in that moment, all of the pride, the late-night rehearsals, and the struggles his contestants had faced flooded Snoop's heart. For someone like Snoop Dogg, who had been through so much in his own life, trials, triumphs, and everything in between, it wasn't easy to let his guard down. But watching his contestants in the spotlight, giving it their all, triggered something deep within him. It wasn't just about being a coach anymore. It was about seeing these young people chasing their dreams, and knowing that in some small way, he had helped them get there. The emotions he had kept in check for so long broke free, and Snoop Dogg was no longer the unflappable rapper. He was just a man, proud of his. As Snoop stood backstage, overwhelmed by emotion, Reba McEntire, his longtime friend, colleague, and fellow coach, noticed the change in him. Reba, known for her grace and empathy, immediately recognized that Snoop was struggling. Without hesitation, she walked over to him, offering a comforting presence in the midst of his emotional breakdown. It was a moment of quiet understanding. Reba, who had seen the highs and lows of the music industry herself, understood the pressure that Snoop was under. She knew what it felt like to pour your heart into something and see it all come to an end. But what made this moment so special was the bond between Reba and Snoop. It wasn't just about offering words of encouragement. It was about the silent support of a friend who truly understood. "Snoop, it's okay. I see everything you've done for them, and you've given so much of yourself. You're not just a coach to them, you're family. You've already won in so many ways, just by being there for them." Reba's words cut through the noise of the competition and reached Snoop in a place only a true friend could. She wasn't offering empty platitudes. She was acknowledging the emotional toll the journey had taken on him. And in that moment, Snoop Dogg allowed himself to be vulnerable, surrounded by the comforting presence of a friend who understood his heart. As soon as the moment aired on TV, fans and celebrities alike were quick to express their support and admiration for Snoop. Social media exploded with reactions, and the outpouring of love for the rapper and his emotional moment was overwhelming. Fans, who had long known Snoop as the cool guy in the entertainment industry, were touched to see him open up in such a vulnerable way. But it wasn't just the fans who were moved. Celebrities from all corners of the entertainment industry took to social media to express their admiration for Snoop's vulnerability. Fellow coaches like Kelly Clarkson, who had watched the entire season unfold, were quick to show their support for the rapper, as were many of his longtime friends in the music industry. "I've known Snoop for years, and seeing him like this just proves how much heart he has. This is why we love him." Snoop Dogg had, in one moment, reminded the world that even the strongest of us need support. He had proven that it's okay to let go, to feel, and to trust those around you. It was a lesson that many would carry with them long after the season ended. Sometimes, the most unexpected moments have the greatest impact. What started as a competitive finale turned into something far more powerful, a moment that transcended the show itself. Snoop Dogg's emotional breakdown and Reba McEntire's unwavering support reminded us all that vulnerability is a strength, and the bonds we form with others are what truly carry us through the toughest moments. Snoop Dogg and Reba McEntire's friendship is a testament to the power of empathy, mentorship, and human connection. The finale wasn't just about who won or lost. It was about the relationships that were built, the lives that were touched, and the reminder that sometimes we need to lean on each other to be strong. As the season unfolded, one thing became clear. Snoop Dogg wasn't just a mentor on The Voice. He was a figure of inspiration and wisdom. From the very first blind auditions to the nerve-wracking knockout rounds, Snoop had a way of making every contestant feel heard. He quickly established a unique coaching style that was both laid back and deeply insightful, combining his vast experience in the entertainment industry with his genuine desire to see his team succeed. He would often talk about the importance of staying true to one's roots, whether it was helping a contestant find their authentic voice or encouraging them to believe in themselves when they doubted their abilities. Snoop's influence was undeniable. His words were not just advice, they were life lessons rooted in his own personal journey. From rising out of difficult circumstances to making it as a global icon, Snoop understood the power of perseverance, and he wasn't shy about passing that wisdom on. "Look, don't ever let the world tell you who you should be. Be who you are, and everything will fall into place. That's how I got here." His authenticity, that down-to-earth way of communicating, was exactly what his team needed. For some, it was the first time they'd ever felt this level of emotional support. Many of them came from backgrounds that hadn't always given them a voice, and suddenly, here was Snoop Dogg, a legend, making them feel like they mattered. And as the weeks went by, the change was undeniable. Contestants who were once uncertain of themselves began to shine with a newfound confidence. Their voices strengthened, their stage presence flourished, and most importantly, their belief in their own worth grew. Snoop had done more than coach them on vocal technique. He had empowered them to take risks, to challenge themselves, and to embrace their unique identities. The night of the final was like nothing anyone had experienced. The lights were brighter, the stakes were higher, and the energy in the air was palpable. But as Snoop's team gathered backstage, it wasn't just about winning anymore. It was about making it through to the end and doing justice to the hard work they'd all put in. For Snoop, this moment meant everything. It wasn't about the competition. It wasn't about the accolades or the trophies. It was about the journey and the people who had walked it with him. As Snoop walked back and forth in the wings, you could feel the weight of the moment on his shoulders. He had seen every one of his contestants grow, overcome obstacles, and pour their hearts into each performance. But now, the final performances loomed large. His eyes were fixed on the stage as he silently rooted for each contestant, knowing that whatever happened next, they had already won in his eyes. There was something raw and unfiltered about Snoop's reaction. It wasn't just the music or the performances that had moved him. It was the realization that this was the culmination of everything he had poured into his team. He had been a mentor, a friend, and a guide, but now he was also a proud coach, watching his players give it their all on the grand stage. As the first note hit, something inside Snoop shifted. His eyes glazed over as he watched the contestants step up to the microphone, pouring everything they had into their final performances. This wasn't just a competition. It was a final act of courage, and for Snoop, it was overwhelming. With every note, with every word sung, he was reminded of the battles his team had fought just to get here. This wasn't just about singing. It was about the struggles they had faced, each contestant's personal story, their fight to be heard, to be seen. And in that moment, Snoop was seeing them. Really seeing them for the first time. Every sleepless night, every moment of doubt, they were all on display now. And Snoop was moved, deeply moved, by the courage it took for them to step on that stage one last time. It was in that vulnerable, honest moment that Snoop's emotions broke free. He had spent so many weeks as a guide, a coach, a rock for his team, but now he was just a man witnessing something beautiful, something powerful. His team had come so far, and they had done it together. And it hit him, this was the end of this chapter. The people he had helped, the people he had bonded with, were about to move on. The show was almost over. For Snoop Dogg, it wasn't about winning or losing. It wasn't about being the best or claiming victory. It was about seeing the full circle transformation of his team, knowing that each contestant had given everything they had, and knowing that he had played a small but meaningful role in their journey. Reba McEntire, as always, was watching from the sidelines. She had been in this industry long enough to know when someone needed a moment of support. And Snoop, in his most vulnerable state, needed that support. As a fellow coach and friend, Reba immediately stepped forward, recognizing the pain and pride in his expression. "It's okay. You've done more than anyone could ask. They're proud of you, and you're proud of them. That's what matters." Reba's words were simple, but they carried weight. She had seen Snoop's transformation throughout the season. She knew that behind his tough exterior was a man who cared deeply for his contestants, for their growth, and for their success. And in this moment, she offered him the kind of comfort that only a close friend could. You've been their mentor, their guide, their strength. You've helped them become who they are today. And that's the real victory. Trust me, Snoop, This is just the beginning for them. Reba's words grounded Snoop, offering him the solace he needed. He had been carrying the weight of the season alone for so long, but in that moment, he didn't have to carry it anymore. He wasn't alone. He had friends, colleagues, and a team that had his back, just as he had theirs. Reba's simple yet profound act of kindness reminded Snoop of the true meaning of the season. Not the fame, not the final result, but the relationships built along the way. The mentorship, the support, the growth. These were the things that would endure long after the confetti settled and the lights dimmed. As soon as Snoop's emotional moment aired on TV, fans from around the world flooded social media with reactions. The heartfelt moment between Snoop and Reba resonated with millions, especially those who had followed Snoop's journey on The Voice. Snoop crying on The Voice? That hit me harder than I expected. This man has such a big heart. Reba is an absolute queen for comforting Snoop like that. The power of kindness and friendship, my all. Fans of all ages and backgrounds shared their thoughts on how this moment transcended the world of music competition shows. It wasn't just about the singing. It was about the real, raw emotions that everyone could relate to. Snoop Dogg had broken down the walls of celebrity, showing the world that he too needed comfort, and Reba McEntire had been there to provide it. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel Jaxcey N24. Thank you for watching.